Hello, good evening and a very warm welcome to all the viewers in Express News with me Deepika, and in the next 30 minutes we will take you across 100 national and international updates. Let's begin. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the 95th annual meet of Association of Indian Universities and National Seminar of Vice Chancellors through video conferencing on the occasion of Ambedkar Jayanti. Prime Minister also said that national education policy is a futuristic as well as a policy at par with the global parameters. He also said that the values vision by Dr. Radhakrishnan can be reflected in this policy. Prime Minister Modi said that now the world sees India as future center. He also said that government is providing all measures to move towards skill development. Prime Minister Narendra Modi meets Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank and top officials discuss the issue of CBSE board exams. Ministry of Education announced that board exams for class 10th cancelled and 12th postponed. Results of class 10th will be prepared on the basis of an objective criterion to be developed by the board. Class 12th exams will be held later. The situation will be reviewed on 1st June by the board. Prime Minister extended greetings on the occasion of Puthandu. Puthandu marks a new beginning and is celebrated with a lot of fervour among Tamilians all over the world. On the eve of Puthandu, Tamilians decorate a tree with fruits and vegetables, neem flowers and leaves new clothes. This tree is then placed in the house's temple room in front of a mirror. Prime Minister also extended greetings of BOHAG BIHU. Assam's BOHAG BIHU festival marks the beginning of the Assamese New Year. Assamese people get dressed in their traditional attire and dance in circles, singing the traditional BIHU Geet. Prime Minister Modi also wished on Odia New Year. The occasion is celebrated as Mahavishuba Sankranti or Panna Sankranti, named after the panna, the main drink prepared on this occasion. On this day, generally people across the street throng various temples and relish a special offering, Bel Panna. The festival is celebrated with visits to Shiva Shakti or Hanuman temples, as the day is considered to be the birthday of Hanuman. Prime Minister also extended greetings on the occasion of VISHU. VISHU marks the first day of the Malayalam calendar. The Prime Minister greeted and conveyed his best wishes for the holy month of Ramadan. PM Modi said in a tweet that Ramadan gives the message of serving the needy and the underprivileged. This strengthens the feeling of equality, brotherhood and compassion. Today is the 130th birth anniversary of the chief architect of the Indian Constitution, BABASAHEB Dr. V.R. Ambedkar. The day is celebrated as Equality Day in India. President Ramnath Kovind paid tributes to architect of the Indian Constitution, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, on his Jayanti. The Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid tribute to Bharat Ratna Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar on his Jayanti. The Prime Minister tweeted, his struggle to bring the deprived section into the mainstream will remain an example for generations to come. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu also paid floral tributes to Babasaheb Ambedkar at his residence in New Delhi. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla too paid floral tributes to Babasaheb Ambedkar at his residence in Delhi on his 130th birth anniversary. Speaker said that Babasaheb devoted his entire life for development of the nation. BJP President JP Nadda paid heartfelt tributes to Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar on his 130th birth anniversary in West Bengal. He said that BJP government has brought a lot of welfare schemes to bring the Dalit community into the mainstream. Campaigning for the 5th phase of assembly elections in West Bengal reached its peak on the last day today. Polling will be held in 45 seats spread across 6 districts in the state on April 17th. Union Minister for Environment, Forest and Climate Change Prakash Javadekar addressed an event titled From Paris to Glasgow, Stepping Up Global Action on Climate Change in their bid to tackle environmental issues at a panel discussion on climate change. Jean-Yves Le Drian, Minister for Europe and Foreign Affairs of France, was also present at the event. Addressing the event, Union Minister said that India is the only G20 country to negotiate on the Paris Treaty and India has shown more than it had promised. Russian envoy to India Nikolai Kudashev briefed the media on the outcome of Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov's visit to New Delhi on 6th of April. The Russian ambassador reiterated that ties between both the countries remain equal, solid, comprehensive and coherent. In Uttarakhand, the third KUMBH SHAHI SNAN took place today in Haridwar. The saints of 13 akhadas took holy dip at Har Ki Pauri. The total number of COVID-19 vaccine doses administered in the country has crossed 11 crore today on the fourth day of Tika Utsav. Cumulatively, 11,79,578 vaccine doses have been administered through 16,53,488 sessions as per the provisional report till 7 a.m. today. 8 states account for 60.16% of the total doses given so far in the country. Over 40 lakh vaccination doses were administered in the last 24 hours. As on day 88 of the vaccination drive, 26,46,528 vaccine doses were given out of which 22,58,910 beneficiaries were vaccinated across 44,643 sessions for first dose and 3,87,618 beneficiaries received the second dose of the vaccine. The country has crossed 26 crore tests. The exact figure stands at 26 crore 6,18,866. The tests conducted in the last 24 hours stand at 14 lakhs 11,758. The testing capacity has been ramped up by 15 lakh tests per day. India's daily new cases continues to rise. 1,84,372 new cases were registered in the last 24 hours. 10 states have shown a rise in the COVID-19 daily new cases. 82.04% of the new cases are reported from these 10 states. Maharashtra has reported the highest daily new cases at 60,212. Maharashtra is followed by Uttar Pradesh with 17,963, while Chhattisgarh reports 15,121 new cases. India's total active caseload has reached 13,65,704. It now comprises 9.84% of the country's total positive cases. A net incline of 1,01,006 cases recorded from the total active caseload in the last 24 hours. 5 states of Maharashtra accounts for 68.16% of India's total active cases. Maharashtra alone accounts for 43.54% of the total active caseload of the country. India's cumulative recovery stand at 1,23,36,036 today. The national recovery rate is 88.92%. 82,339 recoveries were registered in the last 24 hours. 1,027 deaths were reported in the last 24 hours. 10 states account for 86.08% of the new deaths. Maharashtra saw the maximum casualties at 281. Chhattisgarh follows with 156 daily deaths. 11 states and union territories have not reported any COVID-19 death in the last 24 hours. More than 13 crore 80 lakh people worldwide have been tested positive for COVID-19 so far, while over 11 crore have recovered from the coronavirus. The deadly virus has so far claimed over 29,71,000 lives globally. The United States continues to be the worst affected country by the COVID-19 pandemic. More than 3 crore 20 lakh people have tested positive for COVID in the US. More than 5,77,000 people have died of COVID in the country. Moderna Inc. has said that its COVID-19 vaccine still showed strong protection against the illness 6 months after people received their second shot, with efficacy of more than 90% against all cases of COVID-19 and more than 95% against severe COVID-19 cases. Pharmaceutical giant Pfizer CEO has said that the company has ramped up production of its COVID-19 vaccine and can deliver 10% more doses than expected to the United States by the end of May. US President Joe Biden on Tuesday sought to allay concerns that the pause in inoculations of Johnson & Johnson vaccine for COVID-19 would not negatively impact the ability of Americans to be vaccinated. The surging COVID-19 outbreak in Brazil is increasingly affecting younger people. The hospital in Brazil last month admitted the majority of patients in intensive care aged 40 or younger. Israel will start allowing the limited entry of vaccinated tourist groups next month. Officials believe that Israel's own inoculation campaign has sharply brought down COVID-19 infections. US President Joe Biden has planned to pull all military forces out of Afghanistan by September 11, completing the military exit by the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks. The move will extend military presence in Afghanistan beyond the May withdrawal date previously negotiated by former President Donald Trump. There are over 2,500 US troops in Afghanistan currently. Taliban spokesperson has said that the movement would refrain from taking part in any conference until foreign ministry presence in Afghanistan is ended. The spokesperson said that until all foreign forces completely withdraw from their homeland, the Islamic Emirate will not participate in any conference that shall make decisions about Afghanistan. US President Joe Biden proposed a summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin during a telephone call on Tuesday and underlined US commitment to Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity. The United States has said that they expect its relationship with Russia to remain a challenge. The White House hopes that they can work together on arms control issues, the Iran nuclear deal, and other issues. Russia's defense minister said that the country's massive military build-up in the western region of the nation was part of practice drills amid threats from NATO. He added that maneuvers in western Russia would last for another 2 weeks. South Korean President Moon Jae-in ordered officials to explore petitioning an international court over Japan's decision to release water from its Fukushima nuclear plant amid protests by fisheries and environmental groups. Earlier, South Korea strongly protested against the decision, summoning Tokyo's ambassador in Seoul and convening an intra-agency emergency meeting to craft its response. Argentine protesters marched on the International Monetary Fund in Buenos Aires with a big basket demonstrating their symbolic demands. The South American country attempts to renegotiate its multi-billion-dollar debts to the IMF and the Paris Club group of creditor nations. The protesters demand that the funds must go to handling the worsening situation in the country rather than paying off fraudulent debts. Mexican government has deployed over 12,000 officials in southern Mexico to deal with an increase in migrant arrivals. Foreign Minister Marcelo Ebrard said that flows of migrant children were at unprecedented levels. Ebrard also said that officials consisting of National Guard members, National Migration Authority staff, and health and welfare officials had been working in various southern states to help tackle the challenge. A commercial vessel owned by an Israeli firm was attacked off the coast of the United Arab Emirates in Gulf waters. There were no casualties and the ship continued on its course. The incident comes a day after Tehran accused Israel of sabotaging a nuclear site and after Iran and the US began indirect talks in Vienna on ways to revive World Power's 2015 nuclear deal with Tehran. Cuba is poised to enter the post-Castro era with Raul Castro due to step down as head of the ruling Communist Party at its Congress this week, which will also address the island's severe economic crisis, pandemic response, and signs of growing dissent. In Spain, a massive fire broke out inside an industrial park near Cesena. Thick plumes of smoke were also visible in capital Madrid. According to Madrid Region Emergency Services, at least 4 industrial buildings covering an area of 52,000 square meters were affected by collapsed decks and burned down walls. No injuries or fatalities were reported. The night sky lit up by bright as a meteor shot across South Florida and the Bahamas. Security cameras and eyewitnesses were quick to capture the moment as the asteroid hurtled into the Earth's atmosphere at high speed, exploded in a burst of light and burned up. The meteor appeared to be visible on the GOES-16 geostationary lightning mapper and that it burned up on the Sunshine State's Atlantic coast. Spanish free driver and choreographer Ariadna Hafiz performed a breathtaking tango 10 meters underwater for Tango, a 3-minute film directed and produced by Frenchman Bastien Soulail. The movie was made by trained free drivers and every scene was shot 10 meters below the surface with no air assistance. Soulail says the dancer and cameraman free-dived 120 times to complete the film. India's Padmaja Naidu Himalayan Zoological Park and Mountaineering Institute recently welcomed 3 snow leopard cubs. The mother leopard was captured feeding the adorable cubs inside their enclosure as vets have asked for minimal exposure for the newborns. With the latest addition, the zoo and their conservation and breeding facility now houses 12 snow leopards. The institute is also working on a plan to release the cats into the wild. Empty streets on the tiny Caribbean island of St. Vincent looked like they were blanketed in cement as rain mixed with the hot ash emitting from the La Sofia volcano, which had its most powerful explosion yet on Monday, 4 days after its first started erupting. La Sofia erupted back into life on Friday after decades of inactivity, pumping dark clouds of ash some 10 kilometers into the air. People in Moscow enjoyed the hot, sunny weather as temperature set a record of 21 degrees Celsius, which is the highest temperature for more than 140 years of meteorological observations. People seem to be enjoying the summer warm day in the middle of spring, wearing light clothes. According to the meteorological department, the warm weather may continue for the next few days, which may break many more weather records in the coming days. The holy month of Ramadan has begun across the globe like every year. In Brunei Darussalam, food stalls will be set up and become the main attention for the public who wishes to buy food for breaking of the fast. The places which will be setting up food stalls will have to adhere to all necessary COVID-19 protocols. The protocols include open-air stall managers must prepare BruHealth QR codes exclusively for their premise and print the QR codes in sufficient quantity and place in several suitable areas. It will be limited to only 1,000 customers at a time. The holy month of Ramadan also began in Bangladesh on Wednesday. Muslims began fasting after taking Sahari on Tuesday night. Earlier, the Muslims prayed Taraweeh Namaz following the Isha. The authorities have urged all to observe religious rituals of holy Ramadan following the health guidelines during this coronavirus pandemic situation. In Germany, the Ramadan is taking place amid a partial lockdown across the country. A mosque in the mosque in Wuppertal have risen to this challenge. The members of this mosque are now providing iftar to go or a packaged meal after a successful first run last year when the restrictions were brought in around this time. In villages of Vietnam's Lang Son, people's income have increased significantly over the past few years and the poverty rate has declined from 28% in 2015 to 10.5% in 2019. The determination of the local people that directly led to this achievement. A group of people in those villages have started the association that help farmers come out of their poverty by teaching them new farming techniques. In France, military training became high-tech for 80 officer cadets who took part in drills along with robots in Saint-Cyr-Côte-d'Ivoire camp. Various combat situations were reproduced with the cadets using robots for reconnaissance, support cover as well as mules. Sports Minister RIJIJU is expecting an unprecedented double-digit medal haul from the Indian athletes in the upcoming Tokyo Olympics. He was speaking during a virtual webinar organized to mark the 100 days countdown to the Tokyo Olympic Games, which is scheduled to begin on the 23rd of July. Tokyo Olympic organizers today celebrated 100 days to go to the opening of the Olympic Games in 2021 with the poignant unveiling of the Olympic rings on Mount Takao. Tokyo residents expressed concern about holding the Summer Olympics during the COVID-19 as pandemic countdown to the Games reached the 100-day mark. India were off to a perfect start at the Youth World Boxing Championships in TL's Poland with Poonam in 57 kg weight category and Rinka in 60 kg weight category advancing to the pre-quarterfinals after notching up contrasting opening round wins. The AFC Champions League will be played in India for the first time, with FC Goa becoming the only team from the country to feature in the group stage of the continent's top-tier competition in club football. FC Goa will take the field against Qatar's AL-RAYYAN at the Jawaharlal Nehru Football Stadium in Fatorda, and head coach Juan Ferrando will hope that his team can fully utilize the advantage of playing at home. Liverpool face Real Madrid in the second leg of the UEFA Champions League quarter-final match later tonight. Los Blancos travel to Merseyside, posting a 3-1 lead from the first leg in Madrid. Manchester City will be aiming to book their spot in the semi-finals of the Champions League when they face Borussia Dortmund in the second leg of the quarter-final bout. PSG held their nerve to reach the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League despite losing 1-0 at home. Ex-PSG striker Eric Maxim watching nodded in before half-time to give Bayern a crucial lifeline. Missing the injured Robert Lewandowski and the German side lacked their usual ruthlessness up front and were unable to find the second goal that would have continued their trophy defence. N'Golo and Kante's tireless midfield performance steered Chelsea to a first Champions League semi-final in 7 years despite the 1-0 quarter-final second leg loss to Porto. Taremi gave Porto a glimmer of hope with a spectacular overhead kick, but it was too little too late. Virat Kohli's Royal Challengers Bangalore will have their task cut out as they take on a determined Sunriser Hyderabad in the Indian Premier League. Ben Stokes has been ruled out of the remainder of the Rajasthan Royals campaign in IPL 2021 with a broken finger in his left hand. The all-rounder sustained the injury during the Royals' opening game against Punjab Kings. Mumbai Indians captain Rohit Sharma, who was spotted wearing spikes with Save the Rhinos art in the very first match of IPL 2021, continued to use his shoes as a canvas to highlight important wildlife and environmental issues in the match against Kolkata Knight Riders. Bollywood actor RANVEER Singh will now be playing the lead in Shankar's Next. The two have joined hands to remake 2005's blockbuster ANNIYAN, popularly known as Aparichit. After wrapping up the first schedule of Ek Villain Returns in Mumbai recently, the makers are all set for the second schedule. The second schedule will be shot in Goa. The trailer of Zack Snyder's zombie movie Army of the Dead has been released. The movie focuses on a zombie outbreak in America's busiest city of Las Vegas. The movie also stars Bollywood actor Huma Qureshi. Pop singers Jennifer Lopez and her will be star in a global streaming and broadcast special on May 8th to raise money for COVID-19 vaccines following last year's One World Together at Home fundraiser in which lockdown stars including Lady Gaga performed their homes. Mick Jagger has dropped a surprise new track Easy Sleazy, which celebrates the end of lockdown in England and takes a tongue-in-cheek look at some of the downsides of life cooped up at home during the pandemic. 19-year-old refugee Tausin Shiza has got a chance to represent Sweden in the 2021 Eurovision Song Contest due to be held in May in Netherlands. Shiza is a refugee from Democratic Republic of Congo, currently residing in a camp in Uganda. Hit Netflix series Bridgerton has been renewed for seasons 3 and 4. The streaming giant has announced in the style of a page from Lady Whistledown Society paper. The second series of the historical drama is currently in production and will center around Anthony Bridgerton's search for love. Hollywood actor Natalie Portman will be next seen as lead of the upcoming HBO film production The Days of Abandonment, which is based on Elena Ferrante's best-selling novel. American actor Lucy Liu has been roped in to play the role of a villain in the upcoming DC Comics adaptation Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Liu has been cast as Calypso, the sister of Hespera. Demi Lovato's comedy series about people with eating disorders has won a pilot with NBC. The series, titled Hungary, follows friends who resolve the issues of their lives with ongoing eating disorders. And that's all in this edition of Express News, but the fight against COVID-19 is still on. Don't forget to wear your mask, wash your hands and maintain social distancing to keep yourself and your loved ones safe. Keep watching DD India.